What's up, CFL? Coach Paul. I'm going to talk to you about your core and try to get you interested in having a stronger core. I have two benefits you can get from having a stronger core, and then two ways that you can help yourself accomplish that. It's pretty simple stuff. First one is you are going to hopefully have less back pain and more back strength as a result of having a stronger core. So first of all, what am I talking about with the core? There's three main pieces is one way to look at it. You have the diaphragm, that's the invisible part of the core. That is a sheet of muscle that runs through the middle of your body here. That's going to press down when you breathe in, okay? So that creates the initial pressure needed to activate your core. Second part of it would be your pelvic floor pressing up. So diaphragm pushes down, pelvic floor pushes up, and then on the sides, the front and the back, you have your abs, your obliques, and your lower back muscles. All these muscles to wrap around. All those muscles together, pressing down, pressing in, pressing up, create pressure through your midsection, through your core. And we call that intra-abdominal pressure. And that is key for less back pain, more back strength. So if you were doing a deadlift, a squat, almost anything that you would do in the gym, you need to initiate that movement with pressure and strength in your trunk. If that is the case, if that's your body and your mind's default motor pattern is to activate your core, get that really strong and tense before you lift your weight, before you do your movement, then you should have higher performance, you should have less back pain, you should have greater strength. That's the benefit for you there. That invisible part of it, the diaphragm pressing down, that's kind of the missing piece for most of us. And we're going to get to the solution for that in just a minute. So that's the first part of it. A second thing that you can get from having a stronger core, or a core that is more properly activated and turned on and lined up, is you can actually increase your shoulder mobility and your hip mobility. One way to look at the body as you go through, arm, shoulder, trunk, hips, legs, you can look at it in terms of segments like a mobile segment and a stable segment. And they go back and forth. They alternate between mobility and stability. So the trunk, the core, is a region of the body that should be a stable segment. You should be able to create a lot of tension to make it stiff so you don't have movement through the lower back and through the trunk when you are doing activity. The movement should mostly occur at the hip and the shoulder, upper body. So anyway, when your core is working properly, you are able to loosen the body and create that mobility at the shoulder and the hip. When the other thing is happening though, when there is more movement and less stability at the trunk, at the core, then your hips and your shoulders have to take up some of that tension. They become a little bit less mobile. So one of your long-term solutions to shoulder mobility or hip mobility is actually to work on the core. So how do we do that? One of the simplest ways we can do that is every day at the beginning of our class, we start that with some core work, or at least in the warm-up, there's a few minutes of core work. You can take this seriously. You're going to be going through that movement anyway. You might as well focus on it and get the biggest benefit that you can just by paying more attention to it. And another one, this is the June challenge, is to practice breathing through your nose. So in and out during your strength work, during your day at work, during the conditioning part of the workout. These are all great times to do it. It is more difficult, but your goal would be to breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. And the benefit there is that you are going to stimulate and strengthen your diaphragm, that invisible part of the core. But that's what kicks off all of the function of the core. It helps everything work better and helps you be stronger in the long run, is the diaphragm. So breathing through the nose is more difficult, but it is a good way to strengthen and stimulate the diaphragm. In the long run, that's going to help you get more benefit from your exercise and help you feel better and simply perform better. So those are my tips. Get the most out of your core work every day at the beginning of class. Breathe through your nose whenever you're able to. And have a good time. If you have questions or comments, let me know. Have a good day.